Hey, welcome to the Charlotte New Homes Spotlight for December 22 of 22. I've got Doug Bevington. Doug, we met almost 10 years ago. You were shooting videos and I was shooting videos. You were working for the seller and you're still with D.R. Horton. How's that going?
I am. It's going great. I'm excited, happy to be with a national builder who's got a lot of strength and staying power in this challenging market. We're still out there building and selling and closing homes. And
now,
so
D.R. Horton, that stands for, is that Donnie Ray?
It is. We don't call him that. We call him Mr. Horton. But
now, you actually have met him a number of times.
Several times. Yeah, several times. He comes and he spends time in his local divisions and lends his support. And
now, haven't you actually been down to his Texas ranch?
I have not. I've been invited a couple times in situations that didn't allow me to go. So I'm looking forward to going out there.
Wait a minute. You have been invited to Donnie Ray. I can call him Donnie Ray. I'll never meet him. You've been invited to Donnie Ray Horton's ranch.
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
And you turned down D.R. Horton.
Yeah, well, it was a family situation, so I wasn't able to go. But there'll be other opportunities. In fact, they just had a group of people from the Charlotte division go to the ranch this past week.
Wow.
And so when you go, it's pretty bizarre. It's an amazing opportunity. So
well, I would like next time. I would love an invitation. I'll just throw it out there. Well, hey, 10 reasons to buy a D.R. Horton home. I've got it all scratched up. Number one, you've been building homes in Charlotte since 1978.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We entered the market, bought a local builder and established our market position, and we just grew that over the years to take over the number one position in the Charlotte market.
And I know that's also how you got your Express Homes division. You bought Regent, right? Correct?
That's correct. That's exactly right. And we operated as Regent, and we incorporated that into our Express Homes brand, which is a national brand. 4 brands for D.R. Horton nationally. Express is the opening price point, entry level. The D.R. Horton tried and true product is mainly a first time or first move up buyer, and then folks that arrive and have had their success and want to move up to a larger home. We have the Emerald brand, which we're not currently building in the Charlotte market, but we plan to add that.
But that's another brand that you acquired. You bought Emerald,
that's correct.
I think, correct?
Yeah, it was several builders. We bought in the Columbia, Atlanta market. We bought the Crown Builder operation down there, and then incorporated that into our Emerald brand.
Well, it's a big deal, and the fact. And here's the thing: a couple of guys on my team have really good things to say about working with D.R. Horton. They say Rodney Jones, for instance, he says, "Hey, when my clients are happy, I'm happy, and they've been happy with D.R. Horton." That's a good testimony.
That's absolutely great. I mean, we're happy when they're happy as well. We pride ourselves with a very strong realtor buyer agency relationship. We have 95% of our closings, which is a huge number in this market.
Yeah,
typically builders are operating with about a 50-60% cooperation with they co-broke with realtors in their transactions. 95% of them, 95 out of 100 homes we close are represented by a buyer's agent.
So you like it when people have an agent? Because I think sometimes people say, I don't want to make Mr. Bevington mad if I come in with an agent. You just need to do it at the beginning of the process.
That's correct. Yes, that always is the best route to take.
But you like it when you see, and I say you were in a model for 3 decades or more. You're up in the corporate office now. In fact, I see you're at the design center. But when a guy like Rodney Jones walks in, you have a relationship, you know him, you know that he's going to ask good questions and be helpful, right?
Yeah, very helpful, and typically the buyer is very satisfied as well. Their buying experience is just well-rounded, and when they come through the process with a realtor, just that whole relationship that we have, it's very cooperating. Everyone has the customer in mind in the end, and their satisfaction. And when we finish and close a home with a buyer agency that's represented, they're just completely satisfied.
Well, I've got to get shout out for my team. Now, there are varying degrees of buyer agents. In other words, Rodney Jones and we started in a model, so we really know the process. Joe Top on my team also. So in other words, people often say to Rodney, wow, Rodney, I would never have thought to ask the salesperson or the actual construction superintendent, the builder, that question. And that makes us feel good because come on, give us a little love here. We know what we're talking about.
Absolutely, especially with the first-time home buyer market, they've never been through the process before, and you guys have. And when they come in and their buyer agent is pointing out things or suggesting things to make the transaction go smoother, or if there's a question with the home inspection at the end of the process, it's always helpful to have that reassurance from their agent. That builders,
but also, Doug, to be able for us to ask the builder a certain question, basically without making him mad and creating an adversarial, to be able to get the most out of that builder because he wants a good review. So we know how to do that. I'm really asking for some love here, Doug.
Oh, absolutely. We love you guys. And the one thing I can tell you is that, and I want to emphasize, I've said it before, but the end product, the end result, when the buyer goes to the closing, the realtors there as well. We don't go to the closing, but the buyer's agents do, and they're there to assure them, even towards their final day, that what they're doing is the right thing, and not to worry.
Yeah, and again, I feel like I'm begging here for some affirmation, but I'm completely confident about my team. But like, for instance, there are some buyer agents. I know there are certain people that just show up at contracts and show up at closing. We don't like that. We like to be there and hold the hand. Yeah. Again, my guy Donnie Morrison says this. He says, D.R. Horton gets it done for my clients, and they make things right. That makes me happy. Hey, I'm going to get into some inventory here because we are basically a week away from 2023, and you've got some very special financing incentives. I'm going to pull up this sheet that you sent me. For instance, these are alphabetized, but Abriel Ridge, our good friends, again, we know the sales agents, Chuck and Chris down there in York, South Carolina. Man, I love York, South Carolina. Yep. You've got several houses that are plus and minus 300,000. You've got one that just went priced down from 336 to 289. So they can get in there for 289, 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath. What's the special financing incentive, for instance, on that at Abriel Ridge?
Right. So right now we're offering a fixed interest rate of 4.75%. That's with our mortgage company, DHI Mortgage. And in addition to that, we're offering $10,000 in closing costs, buyer's closing costs. So literally the customer can come in, buy a D.R. Horton home, and put their down payment down there, and that's it. That's all they bring to the table. Their down payment, though. We take
that's great. And again, to be able to get in under 300, this last couple of years have been crazy. My heart's gone out for the first-time home buyer, and then you've got a few other houses there at 309, and those are 4 bedrooms. So that's Abriel Ridge. That's your Express brand. That's your first-time home buyer, and that's a great little community, very close to downtown York. But then in Avondale, and I'm probably going by Avondale today because I've got a meeting in Ballantyne. Avondale is just south of Ballantyne, and it looks like you've got homes. For instance, there's one that was priced at $583. It's available now for $529. Why the big price reduction?
Well, the thing about that house is it's finished, and we haven't had a buyer. Oh, actually, I think there was a buyer on it that for some reason their contract fell through and it's back on the market. So it's considered an older inventory home, and we don't like to carry inventory for very long. We like to turn that home over and start building another house. We're typically mainly known as a spec builder. So we're going to put a lot of inventory in the ground, and we want to keep our builders and our subcontractors busy and be able to bring that extra home to the market.
Well, in Avondale, again, we love Avondale because it's just south of, right across the state line. You got a Chick-fil-A and a super Walmart right there, and everything's cheaper in South Carolina. But here, for instance, here's another one, a Fleetwood, one of your very popular 4-bedroom plans, and it was $582. Now it's just under $520. That's a great value, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. It's got a bedroom, one of those bedrooms on the main floor, and it could be doubled as an office. A lot of people working at home these days, so that would be a great office at home.
You've got several Hampshires, too. I don't know why you say Hampshire. I mean, you don't say the state of New Hampshire, but that's a D.R. Horton thing. So you got several of those. What is it about the Hampshire that's so alluring?
That home has just got a lot of sizzle. And so when you walk into it, it's very spacious. It's over 3,100 square feet, 4 bedrooms. The master bedroom, when you walk into it, it's a knockout.
It's got that wow. I mean, it's got that extra little sitting room. Some of them have a fireplace, don't they?
Yep. There's not there's an option to do a fireplace in that sitting room, but our fireplaces are included in the family room. Obviously, is gas powered fireplace.
Well, we got some great values, and again, here's some a Hampshire priced reduced down to just under 630. Here's another one just under 629. Here's a Hampshire, basically 640-ish, 645. So Avondale, a lot of reasons to love it. Are those financing incentives also good on those?
Yes. Anything you can close between now and the end of March of 2023 are that 4.75% is available. In addition to that, the taxes in South Carolina, particularly in Lancaster County, are some of the lowest tax rates in the area, the Greater Charlotte market. So a lot of people like to live over the South Carolina line just due to that tax savings alone.
Yeah. And you've got, I was out at Crossroads last week out in Locust. I love Locust. You're thinking on the way to Albemarle, right off of exit 41, Albemarle Road, you go out and Locust and Crossroads. I was amazed at some of the homes there. Tell us about this inventory, the Biltmore, the Cali, Carolina, the Hayden.
Right. There's some single-story homes, some two-story homes out there. Prices, we just lowered, I think, prices on 3 of those homes out there, right at 3,099.
Wow, 30. Wait a minute. 3. Now we're talking about, because what I'm seeing here in Crossroads, maybe I'm looking at the wrong sheet. I see some at 329, had been 390.
Yeah.
I see some in the upper 300s. Is that what you said? 390?
309 in Crossroads, and those just hit the market. So every day our prices are changing. They're moving around all the time, and again, it's just a matter of catching it at the right time. At the end of the year, it's always a great time. So a lot of times people's minds shift to other things around the holidays, as we all know. But that last half of December, after Christmas is over, people their minds kind of turn to 2023, what their plans are for the next year, and getting their housing situation.
Well, this is a great time. And my buyer agents are available now. We are working hard. And we've got this inventory sheet of well over 100 homes. This financing incentive, if a lot of people, if that's thrown you off, hey, I don't want to pay that percentage, they have bought it down. They've got their own mortgage company. They've got a lot of strength. There are a lot of reasons to love D.R. Horton and getting with them. So, again, the incentives, the financing options, the customer experience, it's all really great. So, again, Doug, anything else, insights you have for the up and coming year, 2023?
Yeah, I think it's going to be another challenging year. The interest rates are still ticking up a little bit. I have a feeling they're going to level off towards the middle of the year and start coming down at the end. And again, D.R. Horton is committed to being the number one builder and continuing to put a lot of inventory out there so buyers can take advantage of a great home, great pricing. And we were always pricing our homes to the market. That's something that I do as a market analyst. I take our prices and I make sure that they're competitive within the resale market as well.
Wait, I think I heard Jack the real estate guy. That must mean you're telling the truth.
Yes, that's a truth detector. That's a truth point for sure.
Must be somebody at the door. Anyway, hey man, thank you so much. I hope that you have an awesome Christmas and coming into the new year. This has been our Charlotte New Home Spotlight for Jack. Jack, sit. This has been our Charlotte. Sorry, it's a real estate dog. You gotta pay attention.
That's right.
But it's been our Charlotte New Home Spotlight. And Doug, we appreciate you coming on and keep us in the loop on all the new stuff coming from D.R. Horton. All right.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it, man.
Thank you for the opportunity.
All right.
Thank you.
Give me a big thumbs up here before we say goodbye.
There it goes.